What is going on, everybody, man? Happy Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. The
That's
Tuesday before Thanksgiving, man. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? It's amazing how quick this year is flying by. I
Yes, it
tell you
is.
what, they told me a long time ago, the older you get, the faster time flies.
Correct.
I'm a blink and Christmas gonna be here.
Correct.
It is phenomenal. I am your host, Damo Unleash. Thank you guys for tuning in. Right now, we are live on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, X, and are you on another platform also?
I'm on YouTube, X, and Facebook.
Yep. So thank you guys for tuning in. Man, with a very good friend of mine, man, my partner in crime, good friend, Sky Black. Sky, go ahead and plug in. I wanted to tell you this. I did catch the when you was running the radio show, Off Top Radio, and
Okay.
man, I was excited. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
And I like how you actually plug in all the artists and their songs, and they get to react to that. But even though I blew it and I plugged that in, plug in everything else you got going on. I know you had a good weekend too, so.
Um. Yeah. Well, thank you. So when I'm live, you know how most DJs when they live they stop and talk. When I'm live, I don't do that. I don't do all that's what my podcast is for. If you just want to listen to my voice. So when
Right.
I'm doing the radio, I want to make sure that the artists are shining. So anybody that I play their music, I tag you so you can share it and let people know that you're getting official radio play. But again, another Tuesday, God has blessed us to see another week, another Tuesday. It's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So, this Saturday will be an actual year that I broke my wrist. Like this Saturday will be
Oh
1 year. So
wow.
when you say time has passed, excuse me, time has really, really passed, And so over the weekend, a lot of people know I got my Bronco hat on again. We won 4 in a row. I'm rocking Broncos till they put me in the casket. And then you can see the things at the bottom of the screen, offtopradio.com. Again, on Tuesdays, if I'm able to go live, I'm going to promote your music on offtopradio.com or offtoprecords.net. If I'm not live, your songs will still play in rotation. Just click on the link, listen to your music, listen to other people's music, share other people's music, like, comment about other people's music, because that's the way you're going to get out there. You can't just do this by yourself and be selfish. Like, hey, everybody, just listen to my music. No, listen to other people's music. Talk to other folks. I mean, you can leave comments. You can just let me know. I heard a song when you replay that again. Things like that. So I'm here to help.
Man, you know what? As a former artist, man, I know you played one of our songs,
Yeah,
and I
I got a
really
lot of your
appreciate it.
songs, my friend. A lot of them.
Yeah, so I really appreciate it. This
Yes.
weekend, did you guys have a wrestling event this weekend, or is it coming
Hey,
up this?
this weekend?
Yeah.
No. This
Oh, it's the
Saturday.
second. Got you.
Yeah. So, this weekend coming up, yes, this weekend it'll be 2 nonstop total action. I think in Henry County they're wrestling, and then Mike Cobb, No Limit Pro Sunday. This Sunday coming up in Tullahoma, Tennessee. It'll be his 3rd year anniversary for No Limit Pro. But I'm smart. Tell your dad I said hi
Oh,
too.
cool, man.
I'm
You
smart
know
this
what
time
I
because
did
see
this week?
last year I was supposed to be at Survivor Series, but I said no, I'm gonna stay and wrestle, and I broke my wrist. This weekend, guess where I'm gonna be? In Chicago at Survivor Series. So I've learned this Saturday.
Oh, it's this Sunday too?
Now this Saturday.
Oh, this Saturday. Oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. Man,
Yeah.
I start a new job tomorrow.
Okay,
So
congrats.
I'll be at that job. My training is tomorrow, but then I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. So my weekend is practically gone. Because Saturday and Sunday, I'm gonna work a shift from 7 to 7. But it's gonna be a lot more chill, and I'm looking forward to that. I just don't. Everywhere I go, I tell them I can't give up my Tuesdays. I have to have Tuesdays.
Yes.
I look forward to this every week. Even though I'm about to lose my weekends, this past weekend, I had a good time, man. We ended up going to one of the former jobs I used to work at. one of the ladies that I really cool. She kind of remind me of an aunt. She a couple years older than me, but she real down to earth. And it was her birthday. So her daughter, they collaborated and got a hall out in Madison. And they had the birthday party thing was the 70s. And so, I had to break out, man, with the fur coat. I don't know if you seen the pictures, but yeah, we had a ball, man. It was good. Man. Those were fun to attend.
Gotcha. Your new job, is it the same that you've been doing?
It's a lot easier. I won't be rovering. Because, see, let me tell you this last job I had. I had the rover, okay? Right. And rovering, you just going from site to site in the vehicle. But I had 11 sites and a matter of 10 to 12 hours. Well, people say, well, that's not a lot. Well, what they didn't understand is that I was going to them sites 4 to 6 times.
Right.
So in total, it was like I may have like 47 stops. Well, if you got 47 stops, you're driving across. From Antioch to the Nolensville Road area. So I'm flying down the street and barely getting done because the schedule was from like 7 to 5. But if you don't finish at 5, then if you finish at 7, that's what time you got off.
Right.
And it was just, man, it was a bit too much.
But I'm saying you're doing security, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. But it's not third shift. Now you're working day shift.
Well, this one gonna be third, but it's gonna be more sit down. I'm not gonna be in the vehicle. So I will go in. I will go check locks every now and then. I will go. Like you got a scanner. You got to scan different locations just to show that you were at that location.
Yep. And
then I sit back down and I'm watching cameras.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So it's pretty easy. The goal though. The goal is to eventually. It's just be working for myself, you know what I'm saying? So that's my vision.
Man, we should get together because what it seems like to me, what you've been doing is security and things like that. You should start your own. Not only should you do a podcast just about what you do, you should do an online course for folks that want to get into it, and you should start your own agency. I know it sounds crazy, but you should.
You know what? Here's what I learned.
Experience.
Here's what I learned, and I think other people don't understand this. And it made sense once I sat in training. You know what a security guard is?
What's that?
A paid snitch. That's all we do. We are paid to snitch. We can't touch you. We can ask you to do something, but we can't force you to do something. We can't put our hands on you. We can't berate you. We can't do anything really. If something jump off, really, our job is to call the police. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were trespassing, all I can do is just ask you to leave. Right. If you don't leave, I can't force you to leave. What I can do though is take note and snitch on you.
Gotcha.
Snitch, tattletale, that's all we are. We ain't one of them people that somebody breaking in something and you can go and say, you come up and you get security because I got as much power as you got. Meaning that if I seen somebody breaking in the car, I can't tackle them or do anything like that, right? All I can do is tell them, it's not good. Don't break in that car or get a detailed description of it. That's it. You can't do anything about it. People think that security guards, can do something about it only if it's somebody in danger. And even then, if you're unarmed, you better not. Like this man got a samurai sword. What you gonna do? Right. You can't go tackle him. You can't be aggressive with him. If he got a pistol, there's nothing you can do about that.
That's right.
So we all are paid snitches. That's what when on Friday after next, that's what Craig was trying to tell Day Day. Day Day was acting like, man, they was top flight security of the world, and he wanted to chase people around the mall. No, you can't. You ain't really supposed to do that.
That's right.
Like how they ran up on them when they were stealing. They really wasn't supposed to grab them like that.
Right.
because they could have got sued. So it's a lot to, people think that security guards don't have power like y'all think. Y'all ain't protected like you think you are.
And that's what I'm saying. All that knowledge that you have, in a few years, you shouldn't have to do anything physically. They should be able to call you and say, hey, we need 3 or 4 security people to do whatever, and you subcontract them to somebody. It's like the cleaning business. Subcontract them to somebody else and send them, and you make a fee off of it.
You think about it. Remember them security guards downtown on Broadway?
Yeah.
That young man passed?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them, first of all, their license expired.
Mm-hmm.
So that got them in trouble. But they weren't allowed to hold that man like that. That's why they went to jail. They weren't allowed to put their hands on him.
Right. And that's just knowledge that some people don't know or don't care.
Right. Or they get in, people sometimes, I think they get in positions of power, and they overstep that authoritative role.
Right.
And and what a lot of people don't understand is the security company, they will not protect you legally. They will not represent you if you do something, you know what I'm saying, beyond their policy. And you get in trouble, they ain't coming to save you.
Right. I believe you. I believe you 100%. So those of y'all that want to get into this industry, I hope y'all are listening, taking notes, because it might be some things that your employer ain't telling you.
That's with anything.
Yeah, they give you the employee handbook, but they know most people read that.
And the print in it be real small.
Be real small.
Interested in hiring you. Once you hire, it is your duty to read the rules and regulations. And if you don't, and it don't matter if it's security, whatever field you in.
Right.
Most companies will not. They'll protect their own interests.
Correct.
They won't protect yours.
That's absolutely correct. You're right. He was right.
But yeah, man, I'm excited. This is different. That one was taxing. To run like that in a car, you get out, you check the locks, you got to take pictures, you got to type in notes. That was the other stuff that entailed in that. So it wasn't just about going to these locations. Every time you go there, you had to take pictures, at least 5 to 6 of them. So,
sometimes it's too much. They try to take the easiest job in the world and make it difficult, and I've been there, done that. So yeah, I know how you feel. I'm like, the job is too easy, because I used to just clean, and I'm like, the job is too easy for you to keep trying to make it difficult, But it is what it is. Some people like that.
Yep, and so I'm looking at this right now. This is so funny. Man, there's a lot of cool, because I'm on Facebook. Something new we're going to do this week. If you guys look below, I've already got some birthday shout-outs. Happy birthday to Jasmine Simone, Dina Delius, Robert Cook, happy birthday. Vita Yibo, Anna Somerville, happy birthday. Mikeisha Carter. And a good friend of mine, Aretha's father and her daughter just had a birthday. So happy birthday to both of them. And happy birthday to Rochelle Covington.
Okay. Well, that's what's up, man.
Yep, and I got some more I'm going to run off. Man, local events. This is something else I want to do, because Nashville have a lot of local events, man, a lot of things going on. And not even I have known about them. I've known about this on Facebook, where they have a section where it's like upcoming events. But what I just found out is that they have local events, right? And they got this one at the Urban Nashville called the Paint and Puff, featuring Preston Mitchell. So I guess you can paint and smoke weed during this art show.
You said the name of it is called what? The Urban League?
Urban Nashville.
Urban Nashville. Because I used to go to a place called, I think it was called the Urban League, up there by that Kroger's up there. But like, is that north or east Nashville? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And I don't know. And that's the one thing I wish they had here.
Not too far from Jefferson Street.
Yeah, I know where you're talking about. Yeah. but they don't have the location. So I don't know if maybe the name of that building had changed, but
Yeah,
it just says Art Urban Nashville.
yeah, yeah. Well, if it's the same one, I went when it was called the. I think it was called the
Music
Urban
Soul
Mead or
Child
something like
coming
that,
here
and
too.
they would just help folks. They had computers and books in there, and they would help you basically just get back on your feet, look for jobs and all that, apply for schools and things like that. That was about it.
Oh,
So
that's
it
nice,
was almost like
man.
going into a library.
That's nice. Do they have stuff like that still, or is it like finding a needle through a haystack?
Man, probably what you just said. You know, I've
Gotcha.
been out of Nashville for a while, man. A lot of things have changed, But again, if it's still over there, then I don't know. Maybe next time I'm in Nashville, I'll swing through there and see if it's still right there.
I'm in Nashville, and you know how often it's like every half a year to year that I'm even in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
and Music Soul Child going to be here today, or actually this coming Saturday at 6 at the
Mm-hmm.
City Winery in Nashville. So,
Really?
yep, I didn't
Okay.
even know.
I didn't.
You don't even the promotion of these things. You don't even hear about them anymore.
We used to have this thing called the Nashville Scene. It was a paper. Dude, is that still
Yeah,
exist? It still
but
exists?
it's still it still exists. But how many people really read the newspaper? Like most people now are getting their news off of online, and a lot of people actually probably look at that the Nashville Scene online, because don't they have an online publication also? I thought they did.
You could be correct. That I don't know. I
Yeah,
just
because I
remember.
know the Tennessean does.
Right.
So
Man, I used
most people probably go on there. And most people, unless they're elderly, most people
Mhm.
probably go on there and get their news. You
Correct.
know,
Yeah.
rather
I
than
used
getting a
yeah.
newspaper.
Woo. Lord, that was a long time ago. Well, yeah,
Man,
so that's how I kept up with a lot of stuff in Nashville. But you're right. I don't know how to keep up with any of this stuff anymore, unless the Nashville scene has like a Facebook page, maybe.
I think a lot. I think they do. I think they have that too. They probably got an Instagram page.
Yeah, something like
Uh,
that.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just easy access. And now they probably could get subscribers from other places, maybe people who are from Nashville but no longer live here that still want to know what's going on in Nashville.
Right.
So it probably makes more sense for them to, for people to subscribe, basically. Which I would probably do that too, because I don't want all that newspaper around my house. You know
I,
how black people is, man. You'd be piled up somewhere, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And then, it's just a waste.
That's absolutely correct. You're right about that. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time when we used to read it, we'd be on the toilet, like this.
And
But
and
now,
the only thing we would get in my household was the Sunday paper anyway. We never got it through the week. We just got the Sunday paper when it came with the coupons and
yeah, with
stuff.
all the coupons and
Mm-hmm.
the funny pages, and yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
yeah. I tell you a paper I used to get. I used to get the USA Today.
Did you?
Yeah, because the sports page, if you got the paper, you either got it for the coupons, the sports
Right.
page, the
Right.
ads, or just the news itself, or the
Right.
comment section. I used
Mm-hmm.
to get it for the sports page. So I would get the USA Today because it didn't just cover local, it covered abroad. The thing I
Right.
hated when I moved down here is, I'm not against the Tennessee Titans,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Tennessee Titans is boring, man. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
boring. It's
Yep.
like even to the logo. The logo, the little sword, the Hasbro sword, that's what I call it. It's just boring to me. I wish they did something. The colors are boring. You know what I'm saying? I wish they did something that was more unique.
Right.
But that said, did you see the new stadium?
I'm trying to figure out where they're gonna put it.
Oh my God.
Where? I thought they were gonna tear down the old stadium, but they not. And they talking about it's gonna be off by the East River Bank. I'm thinking, where are they gonna put this thing? Because
I'm interested to see that too, because I had
they, they built that $500 million convention center. Remember? You know,
Yeah.
and you put a place at the fairgrounds. The fairgrounds is where the soccer team plays now, right?
You
And
know
so
what I'm wondering where it's gonna be, Sky? I
what is
wonder
it?
if it's gonna be where it used to be an old trucking company, right up under the bridge. You know what
Mhm.
I'm talking about? It wasn't too far from the stadium. I think it was right across the street. Isn't that considered East too?
Yeah, but if you talking about, I think about downtown right there by the old child support building, it still could
I,
be the child support building. You know what I'm saying? I know.
I don't know if it's the child support building. I think
I'm
it's
saying
the
by the
juvenile,
child support building. Yeah.
the juvenile building.
Yeah. Oh, that's the same building. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They would do both. Yeah.
because
That's
that trucking
yeah.
company isn't there anymore.
That's correct.
So I'm wondering if they're going to put it there. That's going to be interesting. But I don't understand it because where would the people park? Would they knock down the old stadium and turn that all into parking? I'm interested to see how that works too.
I don't, man. I'm with you, man. Nashville's gonna be so cluttered, man. It's gonna be ridiculous.
You know what?
Ridiculous. It's gonna be terrible, man. Especially, even when I was a young boy, I hated downtown Nashville. Now as a grown man, I really despise downtown Nashville,
Me
man.
too.
And they're
Me
gonna make
too.
it worse,
But you
worse.
know, the traffic is already bad. The
Yeah,
traffic is terrible. You know, but I say this: keep on building, y'all. Make my property value go up because I have no problem if I had to relocate. You know, the first time you relocate is the toughest time, but
hmm
after you relocate that first time,
hmm
anytime after that is easy. And
correct.
me, you know, man, I want to leave in a better position than I came.
Correct.
So if y'all go ahead and y'all bump my property up to the value that I see where okay, I can make a move,
Right.
I'm gone, man. You ain't got to tell me twice. I'm out of here.
That is a great way of thinking. A
Cause
lot
if
of
I
people
can,
don't think that way.
cause think about it. If I could take my house, sell it, and buy another house and own that house or buy land, I'll take it. Actually, you know what? That's why I'm glad that I get to, pick your brain.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't even buy a house. I would buy the most land that I can buy
Sure
and
did.
build a brand new house on there. It don't even have to be a big house. It could just be something that I can put me and my wife, and then my daughters, if they want to go ahead and build houses, they can do it.
That's right. That's right. Or y'all can build one big house and everybody live in it and lease the land to other people.
Yep,
hmm
yep. So I tell you what, because that's what the actually 2024. That's what our goal is. And we
Yeah.
already have family meetings anyway, but it's
Yeah.
more of how has your week been.
Right.
But the goal this coming year is to have more investment family meetings. So we
Correct.
investing and we putting our money together for one common goal. Because you've been to my house.
Yes.
I'm actually I had a conversation with the wife, talk about maybe we need to cut the house in half and turn it into a duplex.
You could. You could.
Yeah, because the upstairs got a kitchen, sitting room, got 3 bedrooms, a bathroom. The downstairs den, bathroom, bedroom, and then the podcast room. And I don't mind, I could turn this into a kitchen, and I think
Right.
it'd be smarter. So, yes, options, man. I'm looking forward to this upcoming year.
A lot of people that's thinking like you is, but the ones that are not, I just feel bad for them because, especially in this state, I can't tell you what goes on in the other 49 states, but this Republican state is just known for business and owning businesses and hiring employees and investments. And if you have that type of mindset, you will be okay in Tennessee. But if you just have that mindset, I'm going to go work for 30, 50 years and retire on my 401k and Social Security, you got a long road of hope ahead of you in this state. You might need to go to a blue state if that's the way you
Well,
think.
well, if you really think about it, though, Sky, We are a red state as far as like the state as a whole, but
Yeah.
locally we are blue. We are blue, and you can tell. You can see the signs of it being blue. Because guess who's getting richer? The rich people. Guess
Yeah.
who the things are getting worse for? Middle class and poor. You
Right.
know, and that's the blueprint of when your state is blue. You
Right.
know, it's getting more pricier. Since look at the council. The council is not Republican; they're Democrat. The mayor is not Republican; he's Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
So all of them are looking out for rich people. Well, you see the rich people getting rich. They keep talking about affordable housing, but when was the last time you guys seen affordable housing? I'll wait.
Unless you buy something that's about to fall down and fix it up.
Yeah, you buy an apartment here. Apartment here is you're looking at. I posted a video nowadays, and this is across the country now already. These apartments are ranging from for a 2-bedroom, 1,800 to 2,500.
Mm-hmm.
But the catch-22, what people aren't telling y'all is that you have to have good or great credit, right? To even apply for one of these.
That's right.
And if you don't have that, and they looking at your income. So, for example, if you buy something for 1,800, it has to be a third of your income.
That's
That
right.
means your income, whether it be by yourself or
You are
somebody
correct.
else, have to
And I used
be
to tell my apartment
5,600.
complex when I lived in all the terrace in Murfreesboro, right? It was a 2-bedroom and it was $450, right? So let's round it up to 5. So they told me you need to be making $1,500 a month. I told them
Right.
why. As long as you get your 5, why do you care what the other 1,000 is or where it's coming from? But I understand that they just want to make sure you ain't got a bunch of drug dealers in your property. That's why they need a paper trail of where this money is coming from. So one is credit. If you have bad credit, don't even fill out the application because so there's some application fees of $75. When I was back in 2009 when I was looking for my first place, application fees were $15, $10. No, some of them are 25, 50, 75. So if you got bad credit, don't even waste your money. So let's say you got good credit, then you need the income. And the third thing, they're going to do background checks now. Now they're going to do them depending on where you're going. They're going to do that. And if you got anything that you need to expunge off your record, you better do that too. So just to live, those 3 things you better have with all your I's dotted and T's crossed.
So you can be homeless.
Lord, now you can run into a slumlord, but you'll see why he's a slumlord.
Right. And the crazy part is your options can be you have to live in the most dangerous neighborhood in your city.
Correct.
Or, you can end up homeless. You literally off of bad credit, and people don't factor this in. Your landlord every year can go up. So say, for example, you move in somewhere and that first year is 1,800. That landlord could come back that second year and raise it to 2,400. And you either got one or two choices. You either gonna pay it or you gotta leave.
That is correct, and it's called keeping up with the market, right?
Yep.
So the more the demand for housing, the more they can go up. Now they can't price gouge. I always remember that there are laws against price gouging. If the market is for 2,500, I can't go to 4,700. That's illegal. But they can keep up with the market. So you can go from 18 to 2,000 to 2,200 to 2,500, and then by year 5 you paying $3,000. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said they need to think like you, save up some money, buy some land, and build them a house on the land. And then that way rent of the other parts of the land, unless you like to hunt or you have livestock or cattle, the other parts of the land that you're not using, lease that out to folks who go to birthday parties, folks who need events. I mean, just whatever you want. Hell, use it as a practice field for little league football. Whatever you can do to generate income from the land to pay your mortgage and to pay your vehicles. That way you're living for free.
Right. And like you said, I think we were talking last week or the week before last, once you own the land, the bank is easier to get a loan because you own the land. So you're more likely not only to get the loan, right? But you're going to get a great interest rate because you own the land.
That's right. That is absolutely correct.
And for the bank, it's beneficial for the bank because guess what? The bank, when they give you that loan, if anything happened, then it's a win for them because they get the house and they get the land.
And they get the land. Ain't that crazy? Yep. What did they say? You give a black man a gun and he'll rob a bank. But if you give a black man a bank, he'll rob the world. So that's the thinking. That's how they do it. And again, I know folks that have a lot of land and their house is like kind of up on like the little hill. And at the bottom of the land, guess who they're leasing the land out to? RV people, trailer people. Because sometimes RV people travel and they need a place to park that RV, hook it up to a sewage line, all that stuff. Or, trailer home people. That's how it is in trailer homes. You pay $480 a month for the trailer, but you pay another $400 or something for the lot that it sits on. So then you at $800. You see what I'm saying? Right. So the money can be made if you think that way. It's just, to me, a lot of 9-to-5ers are thinking, well, I'm going to just go to work 8 hours a day. My husband's going to work 8 hours a day. Well, I don't care if they're both doctors and lawyers. And they're paying out this money. Because I know a couple where they are chiropractors and they make good money. They could be making $8-10 grand a month. But I know their bills are skyrocketing where they live here in Lebanon. Right. So they could be living paycheck to paycheck because of where they live.
Yeah. And all it takes is something really bad to happen and your fortune can change real quick. You know, and I think that's why, I had this dream, man, and it was like, man, I was just talking to God, and God was like, you know what? He was laying out different things, visions for this upcoming year. And I'm not waiting for the upcoming year to start this stuff. We already just, in my household, having meetings about, and I think families need to do that anyway, man. Y'all got a family, an intact family, even if y'all, it's just you and your kids. Sit down with them and just have financial talks. Right. It'll go a long way with them. Don't put them out here and feed them to the wolves.
That's true. That is true. And even if you don't know what you're talking about, find somebody that do.
Right.
Get them on the right foot because it's all about discipline. You have to just be disciplined. And to me, you will be successful if you are disciplined. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people. They fail, then they quit. I saw a statistic that when people do podcasts, after the first 7, they quit. And then after the first 14, if it ain't got more than 50 views, they quit. And that's not how it works. You have to, just over time, you grow, especially if you're doing like grassroots growing. That's the best ones anyway. You have to have time to grow. So with parents, if the dad is working 2 jobs and the mom is working 2 jobs, first of all, what they're going to teach the child? But to work hard. That's it, right? And then 2, they're going to have time to teach the child. Right.
Because if they working, man, somebody, and that's the thing too. But that's what, our topic of the day, man. Thanksgiving is around the corner and Thanksgiving is about family. So I wanted to do a show, talk about memorable family memories. Right. And I got a lot of them, man. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I also wanted to do something talk about meals. Because it's funny, I have seen and I have had some dishes. I don't mean meals, because I've never had a whole Thanksgiving where I said this whole meal something. But I've definitely had dishes that make you want to just like, okay, go get a tetanus shot. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk about some of the meals I've had or seen that has been absolutely horrible. But without further ado, I know I wanted to start with memorable family moments. And I want to talk about, God rest her soul, man, my great aunt. Her name was Lucy. I'll miss my Aunt Lucy. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you the one memory that I'm sitting back. You ever sit back and you just bust out laughing? You're thinking about something that happened years ago and you're like, man, every time I think of that, it's just as funny now as it was then. Mm-hmm. I came up with one with my Aunt Lucy, right? There's a few of them with her. Man, Lord, I miss that woman. But she got some new glasses one day, right? She was rolling in the car with my aunt. So Lucy was my great aunt, which was my grandmother's sister. My grandmother's daughter, who was my aunt, they had just got her from the hospital or the doctor because she got new glasses. Okay? Or actually, she picked them up. They didn't get her. She picked them up. And so my aunt, who was diabetic, you know, man, she had her legs amputated.
Oh, bless her heart.
You know, and I Lord rest her soul also. But my great aunt was like, ooh, I could see a freckle on the neck's ass. And my aunt was like, well, did you see that big red stop sign you ran? Biggest stop sign in the city, man. It wasn't just your typical regular, and you know the regular stop signs is big. This stop sign, they made it bigger so people don't miss it. And she flew right past that and was like, where? And every time I think about that, I remember us being in the backseat of a car crying laughing. You know what I'm saying? And that, you know, I sit back and I think about that moment.
Wow, I understand. Well, maybe ever since then she'll see the other stop signs. How about that? We all miss one. We all miss one stop sign, right? You know, but we make sure we see the next one.
Man, and it was funny too because my grandmother was a good cook. She wasn't she had great dishes,
right?
But she was just a good cook. Meaning that there were some dishes that she was really great in, and then there were other dishes where it was like it was all right. But her sister, it was always funny when her and her sister got together, right? Because my grandmother would be in the kitchen, and this was really funny, man. She'd be cooking, and you know, she's from the South. So, you know, Southerners, man, even though she probably was raised up that way, but because her mother taught her how to cook, she had that Southern style of cooking, right? She would season her food properly. But her sister, as soon as she leaves the kitchen, we'll see her sneak off in the kitchen, right behind her, and season the food right behind her, right?
Okay.
So she acted like my grandmother's cooking was horrible. But then one day, she decided she wanted to get up and cook us breakfast. So, you know, the breakfast that she cooked for us was grits. But why was we drinking grits out of the cup?
I've done that. I don't think I had grits, but I remember being in a daycare where they did oatmeal out of a cup. We had oatmeal and peaches, and the oatmeal was like a drinking cup. The oatmeal would be in a cup, and the peaches would be on top. I don't know if you ever had that or not.
But was it thick or was it like? Cause we didn't need no spoon. We was drinking the grits.
Okay, yeah, we had to have a little spoon. Yeah, we had a spoon. Yep.
We had a spoon. We
weren't drinking like it was water. No.
we was drinking butter water. Cause you know, like we put that butter in the grits.
Wow, yeah, I was drinking rice water.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I will never forget that day. And she was bragging on her cooking. I'm talking about she's the world top chef.
Right.
You know, Gordon Ramsay. Man, I said that this is some bull. So the bacon was burnt. The toast was burnt. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, I don't know about the old school toasters. Maybe you can refresh my mind. But didn't they have settings on them also?
Yeah, I have a toast in here now. Yeah, it's a setting.
I know the ones nowadays have settings, but, and I'm like, how the hell did you burn this toast? I'm talking about, man, you had to scrape it off just to get it to be light skinned, you know? And it was hard. You know, that bread back then, man, when you burn it, you know, bread period. You burn bread period, it's hard.
It's hard.
And
it's done.
So if you don't put that butter on it real quick, at least in the middle, then, man, you just got butter melted on burnt hard bread.
That's right. It turns into a brick. Now you bust the window with it.
Man, and it was that government bread.
Mm-hmm.
You know how that government butter. You remember that government butter? You almost break a
Bread,
knife
butter,
on that
cheese,
mud.
milk. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that all that. Yep. That's what I'm saying. This new generation don't know. They talking about we got it hard now. You don't know what having it hard is, my friend. You know, I'm
Man.
telling you, they go get food boxes. I mean, just all type of stuff, man. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that Wick when Wick used to bring that powdered milk.
Homogenized. Yep, that's what it's
Oh
called.
my God!
You added the water and stirred it up.
Remember eating cereal off of that milk? It was like had some water with it because there was no milk taste. I'm like, where the milk taste at?
I think the government was trying different stuff on the black neighborhoods. That's why the stuff was free. That's why they was giving it away.
Man, that peanut butter,
bread, the canned goods. I think we were just guinea pigs, just experimenting on us.
Remember the peanut butter?
Yeah, because back then the cereals we were eating. Well, we used to eat cornflakes and add sugar. But the cereals that you bought out the store had so much sugar in them. That's why most of black people are diabetics. Because at such a young age, they was eating nothing but just pure sugar.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, molasses, remember that syrup? It was called Allerger syrup?
Yeah.
That shit was like thick. I mean, it was real thick.
Yep. You was absolutely correct.
It wasn't no Miss Buttersworth.
No.
No,
it wasn't Mrs. Butterworth, right? It wasn't Ain't Your Mama. It wasn't none of that. You right about that. You right.
Ladies, that syrup was so thick. You know that baby hair y'all be having up here? Y'all be trying to like make it curl up? Shit, Allerger syrup would have helped y'all.
Would have laid it.
Would have laid that stuff down for hours and don't let it harden up. Shoot, you might have been able to wear that for a couple weeks.
Again, they was experimenting on the inner city kids. That's what they were doing with all this stuff.
Hey, Sky, let me ask you this.
Yes.
And because I know I grew up in the projects too. The projects I grew up in was called Elizabeth Park. And Elizabeth Park, one of the memories I had back then is they had what we called the Hunger Center. Mm-hmm. Now, the Hunger Center was like the recreational center where they set up and they would get donations from stores. From items that was like a day or two out of date, that they instead of putting it back on the shelf and marking it down, if they had too much of it, they would donate it to these rec centers, and these rec centers were feed communities. Right. So, did you guys have anything like that?
You know, each hood or each neighborhood had a community center. So mine, since I was in Edge Hill, we had what they call the Edge Hill Community Center. If you was down the street where my grandma and them used to live, it was Sevier Park Community Center. And we had the little white little lunch boxes. You know how they fold in on the side? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, like, yeah.
The side and then they open up at the top. So you have your little juice, your apple, your sandwich, and your chips. And me, I love Tuesday because I love chicken patty. I couldn't wait for Tuesday to walk my butt up there because I love chicken patty sandwiches. Trust me. So that's what we had up there. So every day was a different sandwich. But man, chicken patty, ooh, I love that. So, but yeah, that's what we had. Mm-hmm.
We used to have them boxes that had a carton of milk, apple or peach. It would have, so it would have the milk, the fruit, and then they would have a cold cut sandwich, and then we may have some chips or fruit cup or something like that.
Mm-hmm. You're right, and they did that for a long time, but now they don't do that no more. I mean, there is places here.
I don't even see them trucks anymore.
Yeah, there is places here in Wilson County that I found out that do food boxes, but most of them are for like homeless and elderly folks that are disabled. But that was that was for the neighborhood. I mean, all the kids between 12 and 2 would go to the Edge Hill Center. We would play ping pong, pool, basketball. If you was on the football team. And we knew between 12 and 2, you go stand in line and we would sit down, pop all those little white little containers, drink our little juices, eat our chicken patty or whatever sandwich it was the other day, and go about our business. You're right.
Man, let me ask you this. Do you got any memories, man, of like good memories, like holiday memories or any memories from you just sit back and just like, man, them
Well,
was some good times.
coming up, we would go to my grandmama's house, right? So my
Right.
grandmama last year, within 3 months, my grandmama passed, and two uncles passed, which were both of her sons.
Oh
So,
wow.
so Thanksgiving for me this year would be kind of weird because she's gone and two of my uncles are gone. But prior to that, everybody, when I think of grandmamas, I don't look at them as cooks. I look at them as chef. A cook is
Yeah.
me. A cook is somebody who can read the ingredients and do what the box says.
Oh
A
yeah.
chef, like your grandmama and great grandmama, is somebody who tasting and because my grandma used to be like, I'm not hungry, baby, because I was tasting food and cooking it at the same time. You taste
And they could smell the food, and the smell of the food being in the kitchen will
So
fill them up.
and even my mom to this day do the same thing. You get full from tasting and cooking and adding, the spices or whatever. So, but as far as the food was always pretty good. But what now, since I look back over my life, what I have learned is just what your question was for me is the conversations that I used to hear the grown folks have. Because you remember back then was two tables. There was the grown people table and there was the kid table. Yeah. And when I was old enough to just get close and sneak to the grown people table, I was able to hear things and learn things that I apply to my life to this day. And that's how I know the difference between what we call middle class mindset and the way me and you think today. Right. The food brought everybody together, but just hearing people and the way they saw life was the best part of Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter and 4th of July and all this old stuff. So yeah, for me, it was just a gathering of the family because the older you get, the more people pass away, and you can just remember those days and times where y'all was together for those holidays.
I tell you something I miss is certain dishes that my grandmother made.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like her baked beans, I'm close to getting to the way she made them.
Mm-hmm.
But man, she was masterful.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of, that is, I know when we jump to the next topic,
mm-hmm.
the best dish I've ever had was her baked beans, right? But the worst dish I ever had was somebody else's baked beans. And I'm going to tell you,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, certain dishes, I think that if you don't know, it's good. Thank God we got YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
And thank God it's easy to get your hands on recipes.
Right.
Because I've had some recipes that I'm like, ew. But with her lemon meringue pie,
mm-hmm.
the best bar none that I've ever had. Her
mm-hmm.
baked beans, great. Her macaroni and cheese, oh my God. Still can't figure out. I wish that I could have got some of them recipes before she passed on.
And you're right, and that's why I call them. I don't call them cooks; I call them chefs because they were just as good as Gordon Ramsay, which I ain't never ate none of his food. But just coming out of the slavery institution, they perfected cooking. Yeah. So your great grandmama who was cooking for some white man, then passed it on from generations to generations. They didn't need a cookbook or a recipe. They knew how to get that macaroni in that pan and put that cheese on top and stick it in that oven and let it, man, that was the great macaroni, not this instant stuff that they do now. Don't get me wrong. You got a house full of kids. I get it. You got to do that instant macaroni. But that macaroni got to sit in that oven for 30, 45 minutes.
Ooh, and you put that spoon in there and all that cheese melt. Yep. Mm-hmm. Man. Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. It was a certain, I tell you what else. Her stuffed bell peppers.
Mm-hmm.
Her dumplings. I still haven't found anybody that can even close make them. I'm talking about them thick dumplings. Mm-hmm. I ain't talking about the ones that's real chopped up. I'm talking about them thick ones. The ones that you saying, what was that? Kung Fu Panda? And chicken.
Right.
You're right. And so that's what is a great, memorable family memory of mine.
And but I know we got about too, Damo, because now a lot of people when they do Thanksgiving, and again, a lot of people just either don't have the money, the time, or they just got way too many kids. They just go to the store and get canned goods. Now our great grandparents would go to the market, pick out the fresh chitlins, the fresh lettuce, the fresh this. That's why your turnip greens and collard greens and mustard greens taste so great because they were fresh. They didn't have all that damn sodium in it. Your macaroni and cheese was homemade. Your biscuits or cornbread or whatever y'all ate was homemade. The meatloaf, the turkey, the dressing. Now I guarantee you can't go to nobody's house and the whole spread is homemade. This might be a little bit homemade there, but not the whole spread like it was back in the day. Because your grandmama and your aunties will start cooking the night before because you know it's going to take hours to get all that stuff together. You might have froze up on me, Damo. You good? Okay, well his internet just froze up. So yeah, so that was back then. They would start cooking like some of them would do it 2 days in advance, and by the time we got there on Thanksgiving, we would just warm the food back up. But when people talk about like health scares and diabetics and people like me, I come from a family with high sodium and all that stuff. You didn't worry about that back then because everything was fresh, everything was good, everything was, they went. We call it the grocery store now, but back then you call it the market. Even some people today still go to the market every day. Like black folks, we don't do that. Especially you got food stamps. You take your $340 food stamps, you buy food for the whole month because you're too lazy to keep going back to the store. There are people to this day that live in Nashville that get up every day when they get out for work and stop by the market and get fresh everything. I'm not gonna lie, I'm the type, if I buy fruit or lettuce, it's gonna be in the refrigerator to last me for a while. But I'm not gonna go to the store every day. That's a little asinine for me. But back in those days, they used to do those things. And that's why the Thanksgiving foods were so good. And believe me, they were so healthy. What was killing you was cereals, Captain Crunch and Cocoa Pebbles, all that sugar and stuff that's in that stuff, man. The Kool-Aid packets, the Pepsis and the Cokes. Now all of a sudden you have diet this, diet that. Now all of a sudden you have a zero this, zero that. I'm talking about when I was coming up, late 70s, early 80s, you didn't have that stuff. I'm talking about when Gatorades were in glass bottles. People don't even remember the first Gatorades were in glass bottles. They look like Snapple bottles. Because I broke a few of them one time. I remember one time I had a Snapple bottle of Gatorade on top of my car, and the music was playing and it vibrated so hard it fell off the trunk and busted and hit the ground. I was hot. I was heated, you know what I'm saying? But then they got Gatorade in plastic bottles. But anyway, the thing we were saying before you got froze was those meals back then were good, fulfilling. You could eat, you could take some home. But now I tell folks you can't eat everybody's cooking. So when I go with people out there like, well, why are you not eating? It's no disrespect. It's like being in the streets. You can't smoke a blunt that goes around because you don't know who rolled it and you don't know what's in it. So when you go over other people's house, especially if you're dating and you go over the girls or the guy's house for the first time, you ain't never ate that cooking before. So you got to be careful on what you eat because you don't know who cooking and how they cook. Because if you don't, you in that bathroom, y'all gonna be good friends for a long time.
Because I tell you what, Sky, you know what I don't like? Potluck dinners. Potluck gatherings. Because I'm going to tell you.
I can work. You have those jobs.
I've been at jobs that celebrate Thanksgiving. Like you're going to be out so the company to come together and they put together a Thanksgiving meal, right? Man, somebody brought some baked beans. Mm-hmm. First of all, they wasn't baked.
Right.
Do not call them baked beans if they ain't baked in that pot.
Right.
If they soupy in any kind of way, any kind of way, them ain't baked beans. Second of all, they wasn't even baked beans. They was pork and beans. Baked beans and pork and beans is not the same thing.
I know.
And then they put some bacon on top of
it. And you got to be careful of that too, man. I'm not telling you what I've heard. I'm telling you what I've gone through. Going over other people's houses, eating their food, at work eating the food because you don't want to be disrespectful or mean. Well, I mean, one time I ate somebody's potato salad and it just did not digest. It did not. And I was like, I know what I got to do. So I had to get down, bend over the toilet, I stick my finger in my mouth. And sorry if this is disgusting for some people, and throw all that stuff back up. And I told myself to this day, I will not touch nobody's potato salad. I don't care if Jesus Christ made it. I'm not eating no more potato salads. That night, I had to throw that one back up. Yeah.
Potato salad, and coleslaw are two things you can ruin for people real quick.
Yes, you is right. You've got
And
to
something
be careful
else.
how you do that stuff.
And something else, turkey. Because I can't tell you how many people that have got the turkey did not take the insides out.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Bake the turkey in the pan, just threw some seasoning on top of it and whatnot, baked it, and then you come and cut the turkey. You know, this turkey looked like it been cooked at 350. This side of the turkey looked like it been cooked at 175. And then, man, the goddamn turkey still got its Nike shoes on the inside.
Yep.
You
Some
know?
people don't know how to stuff turkey. You right. And be careful with deviled eggs, because that will make you sick as a dog too. If people don't know how to fix deviled eggs, man, it's no disrespect to folks, but you know, sometimes the old folks taught me, if you ever go to somebody's house, like maybe let's go back to the first time you was dating your wife before y'all got married, and she said, "Well, come over to my house, eat you a little something before you go, so that way you ain't hungry. You're not full, but you're not hungry neither. So that way you can just taste this, taste that. Oh, I'm full. Thank y'all. I don't need no more because I either ate before I got to your house or I'm going to eat once I leave your house."
Right.
Until I can get acquainted to what you can fix, it's nothing like in the middle of the night, 3 a.m, being sick. Nothing like it.
And if you ruin deviled eggs, you should not ever be allowed in that kitchen ever again. There's certain dishes that if you ruin, and deviled eggs is one of them. Here's mine. And people do this often. Macaroni and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Do not, if you don't know how to make macaroni and cheese,
Right.
and if you're making it out of the box,
Right.
do not put no Kraft single slices on top of it. Man, if I ever go, I've seen that. Don't put no Kraft slices on it. That is not the cheese that go on there. Don't put that powder stuff in it that come in with the box, and don't put no Kraft cheese on top of it.
Right.
Mixing it up, talk about the macaroni and cheese is done.
Right.
Because I ain't eating it. I'm sorry.
And so some people, I'm like, nah, I got something to do. I can't come. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just one of those things, man. You just got to be careful. And I tell folks that all the time. I got folks that you can invite them anywhere. They'll go because they black. They like to go eat for free.
Oh, yeah, they go. Yeah, you can't.
But sometimes you're going to regret that too. So even at family Thanksgivings with your family, luckily you knew who could cook what and who couldn't. So that way when you're at the table, you knew what to eat and what not to eat. But what if you're in a situation where you don't know?
Right. And here's the other thing. You got to know the person's house that food is coming out of.
That's right.
Because even with them being a good cook, if they got cats and they got pets and they let their pets run on that top of that stove and whatnot, or they got them cockroaches, they got them cucarachas,
correct,
man. So you all right? Stick that spatula in there, that ladle in there if you want to. That goddamn roach sitting up there with a leg crossed, saying, "Hey."
Man, I was young over a friend's house one day and he fixed me some Kool-Aid. Man, I went to drink that Kool-Aid and that damn dark ass cockroach floated to the top. It was dead, but it must have been in the cup. And it floated straight to the top right before I was about to drink it. I just pulled it all out. Do you want some more? No, thank you. I'll just be thirsty until I go home. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely correct. If they ain't clean, if they don't wash their hands, I mean, just all type of stuff, man. I was over a person's house. They were about to feed me, and the bathroom didn't even look right. I was like, damn, they don't keep their bathroom clean. They wash their hands. So now I'm thinking, well, you know, if you cook food at a certain degree, it'll kill bacteria. But still, I'm still thinking,
you still got it. You got to know the condition of that house.
I dibbled and dabbled, and then I left, but I never went back.
If you look at them eyes, and it look like them eyes ain't been scrubbed, you know them kitchen eyes, That's your first. Look, matter of fact, most people don't allow you to go in their refrigerator. But open up that microwave.
Yep.
Open up that microwave, man. That microwave will tell you everything you need to know. If y'all gonna get plates, I suggest, even if it's family, I suggest you go and check the condition of their house.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%. Hey, we just trying to get y'all gems so y'all don't be in those situations like that. You know, you just can't do it. And if you offend somebody, just tell them you apologize. You know, because back in the day we had this thing called KO Pate. I don't know if you remember what that is, Damo. But that's what you took when you ate stuff and it constipated you. Because sometimes stuff you might eat might give you loose bowels, but some stuff you might eat might constipate you. So over stuff they got called KO Pate, and that's what you took to get you back regular. You know what I'm saying? Because you did ate something that your body just did not agree with. And the worst thing in the world is food poisoning. Well, that stuff like turkey, it looks done, but it really ain't. Food poisoning is 3 days off the rip. There's no. You're sick for 3 days off the rip. There is no else to say about that.
Man, I know we got to get ready to go, but I got to tell you a story of the worst, the only time I've ever had food poisoning.
Yes.
So I worked at this company, right? And we made vacuum rollers out of wood, table legs, stuff like that.
Yes.
Well, when we hit a certain quota, the reward was that they fed everybody. So they fed everybody Arby's. Right?
Right.
Man, the next day, half of the factory stayed home. And then a couple of us was sick, but we came into work anyway.
Right.
The bowel movement was black. I'm talking about it was like we was pooping sludge. And we had one bathroom, and you just seen traffic lines going back and forth to the bathroom. Dude, when I tell you, that was one of the longest 8 hours of my life. And what made me pissed off about it is they didn't even count it against the people that stayed home. And I was like, damn, if I would have knew that, I would have stayed home. I wouldn't have came to work like that. But I was like, man, I need this money, and I can't afford to have this count against me. So I came into work. And I'm like, well, dang, y'all should just let us go home. Dude, that was the worst. I'm talking about, man, you remember Willie Jones? When he was in that truck on the highway? On next Friday? We was like that all day. That was the worst, dude.
It is. It sure is. So there's a lot of things to be thankful for this weekend or Thursday, Thanksgiving. And there's some things that you want to be careful of. So take that to heed, everybody. You know, we want y'all to have a great and happy Thanksgiving. And when you sit at the table today, forgive people if they've hurt you back in the day. Have conversations with people you ain't talked to in a while. Tell folks you love them. Because again, all my life, all I ever knew from till last year, which was 2022, something like that. Well, maybe earlier this year. Was my grandmother and going to her house. And so she's no longer here. My two uncles, Uncle Sam and Uncle Melvin, are no longer here. So life is short. So y'all be thankful. Don't be in a rush to leave. Take your time. Maybe you got to play some cards, talk to people, watch the game, because God hasn't promised you tomorrow. So, and a year is a long time for us. Not maybe for him, but for us it is.
Right.
So just be thankful for what you have and be happy to see that day.
Right. And as I always say, the only thing guaranteed in life is death. So don't worry about small things that you don't have any control over.
That's absolutely correct.
God bless y'all. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Before I do leave, I want to go back because I said there was some birthdays I wanted to go ahead and shout out on here. If you ever want to do this on your Facebook page, that's fine. I do not mind, man. I welcome it. But I want to give a birthday shout out to Robin Wade, Jasmika, that's in my Facebook, Temperance Wright, Carrie Lutz, Heather Higgins, Rena Sanders, Stacy Howard, happy birthday. Tamachichi Julio. If I messed your name up, which it probably sound like I probably did, I apologize. But happy birthday to you. Shawnee Flowerchild, Emma Demma, Tierra Riley, Latasha McGaw, Carrie Sears, Ennis Puzik. Man, happy birthday. I do have some upcoming birthdays. I will get you guys next week. Actually, no. Their birthday is tomorrow. So, Natasha Jackson, who I go way back with, Alex Tyler, DeJohn Abrams, Jasmine Allen, Ashley Marie, Jennifer Marie, Marie Wright, Jasmine Flynn, Sherry Drummond, Jaleesa Dunlap, Dree DePasquale, Armani Davis, Yada Baby Brown, Jessica Nicole, Bam Bam, Brianna Fair, Paula Stein Sherwood, Christy Hassel, Noreen Hatcher, Cassandra Zink, Charlie Carmona, Chanel Thomas, Enrica Woods, man. Happy birthday to all you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Love y'all. Be safe. And Sky, do you want to leave with? I'm going to leave the floor to you, brother.
Again, happy birthday to all y'all he called out. Again, it's a blessing to see another year, because yesterday when we all went to sleep, some people didn't wake up today. So congratulations on waking up today. Congratulations on seeing another year, because it truly is a blessing. And again, thank you, Damo. I always look forward to these Tuesdays. And so hopefully, the crazy part is, as soon as I get off of here, I got a dentist appointment. So I'm going to try to come back so I can start the D-Bling radio show later on tonight, which is at Off Top Records. So I don't want to keep saying Off Top Records. OffTopRadio.com. That's OffTopRadio.com. And then we will stream the music after we played it on OffTopRecords.net. And then my podcast, I might do it Wednesday night, because Thursday I'll be in Chicago. So shout out to everybody that's going to Survivor Series in Chicago.
And I want to ask you, what time is that? What time can they listen to that tonight?
The radio show, I'm hoping at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
And then the podcast usually is on Thursday nights, but I'll probably do it Wednesday night at 11 p.m. So it's only about an hour long. So from 11 p.m. to midnight, do the podcast then.
All right, man. Well, hey, it's always a blessing to have you on here, man. And safe travels, okay?
You too, man. I'll see all y'all next week.
All right, man. Peace, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.